Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 2 review of group number 5, Dry Snuff, Nasal Snuff. Again, all of the groups are on one playlist, so if you go to the playlist page, it is just Dry Snuff, Nasal Snuff. Alright, so we will be taking a look at Otto Schmalzler. Now, right off the bat, it has Snuff and Schmalzler right next to each other. So I am not overly sure if this is actually a true Schmalzler. All right, so it may very well be a hybrid. There are quite a number of products by quite a number of companies, all European, that do hybrids. All right, a Schmalzler traditionally is oiled with paraffin oil. All right, that is why you do not, I repeat, you do not want to use them for powdering pipe bowls. All right, nor do you want to use anything that's a hybrid, just in case, even though it is cut with regular snuff, there is paraffin somewhere in there. You do not want to take the chance. All right, so what you're looking at is a 10-gram tin, and I just realized in the last review, the first Otto product, I didn't really go over the size of tin or anything. A little bit out of practice. It had been about 10 months or so since the last European nasal snuff review. So it's a plain 10-gram tin. All right. And I do not have a dip can here to sort of show the difference at the moment, unfortunately. It's a screw-off lid, all right? 10 grams, that's a pretty good amount for somebody that's just starting out. It'll last you a little while. This product itself, and that's why the tin probably looks familiar, is made by Toke. All right, and it looks, with the exception of the different sticker on the front, exactly like a 10-gram Toke tin. All right, so basically that's all that's on it. Warning label. There's nothing on the back. I'm going to open it up and see what's going on. I did not read into this beforehand, so wow, that is some black stuff. It's not completely full, and it's off to one side. I'm wondering, this might be. All right, I'm getting a dark fruit plum smell off it. It's really dark. Now, I did not open this up before. The can, to tell you the truth, looks a little light. That said, if this is actually a full Schmalzler, there could be extra room left in the tin. There usually are with those. I am not exactly sure why. It's really dark stuff. So it's clumping. It seems like it has a pretty high moisture level. That could be oil the way it's clumping. It's hard to show, really. I'm going to put a little bit out here. The grind looks semi-coarse, I suppose. Now, I'm going to have to go by Mr. Snuff and trust them that, you know, this is the full 10 grams in here. I am thinking it's a 10-gram tin, but since this product is oiled, the oil adds weight to it, which is why the tin isn't completely full, like with their snuffs. The oil will add weight, so there's 10 grams in there, but 10 grams with the oil weight doesn't fill out the can. I have never gotten a product that I thought was like, wait, did somebody get into this already? From Mr. Snuff, it's never happened. I've only ever had one problem with the store, and for those that are new, I am not affiliated in any way. It's just sort of one place with all the brands under one roof, and that's why I deal with them. The only problem I ever had with Mr. Snuff was I had an order go missing. It never showed up. Not to be confused with in April or May when I did an order from Toke directly, and that never showed up. Not only did the Toke one not show up, when I sent them an email saying that it hadn't show up, I never got anything back on that either. The only problem I had with Mr. Snuff was an order did not show up last year, 2019, and when I emailed them saying, yo, nothing's here, it's been 20 days, they resent the order. So that is the only problem I've ever had with Mr. Snuff, and they corrected it. So that's what I'm doing here, all right? I'm going to break down the one. Yeah, it's pretty coarse. It's coarse stuff. It's not like that last one. It's clinging, and it's clinging to itself, and sort of you can move around the balls a little bit, but it's not fluffy like that last one. The last one I did, the Chancellor, was fluffy. This, you can feel the grind. So let me get my paper towel ready here. All right, so it's coarse. I thought I was going to be okay there for a second. But I'm not. Hold on for a second. And I'm back. Okay, so there were 2 more sneezes after the 2 that you saw. No, I guess you saw 3. So there were 5 altogether. That's not too bad considering this is the fairly coarse stuff. And it's heavy. It's even heavy in the nose. You have to upshift. And I even had to, like, go like this to get pressure on the upshift. So it's coarse stuff. And my problem with coarse stuff is that it really makes me sneeze, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because the products I find the most interesting all tend to be coarse products. Whether they're from Bernard, something like this, Pulch, they all, Elmo's Reserve from Gadwith, they're all coarse grinds, and my nose just can't take it for whatever. Now, like right now, my nose is just itchy right now. But I don't want to blow it because I'll lose the product. Now, when you sneeze, remember, people that are new, you want to sneeze out through your mouth. Usually when someone sneezes, most of the exhaust, if you would, goes out through the mouth. With something like this, you want to make sure it all goes out through the mouth or you're just losing product. You also want to have the tin secured. You do not, now this stuff's pretty heavy, but still, you do not want to be blowing out a whole lot of air on an open tin of dry snuff. Bad effect. Trust me. So, this is... it acts like a Schmalzler. It acts like it, and due to it being oiled. Now, here's the thing. Again, technically, it could be oiled with something else besides paraffin. All right, the traditional Schmalzler would be paraffin oil from paraffin wax. which is why you do not want to powder a pipe bowl with it, because you do not want to inhale anything off of paraffin oil. But in the modern day, there is other things they can oil it with. And I have a feeling that may be the case here. That said, I have had hybrids before, Schmalzler / Snuff hybrids, and this is not acting like one. This is acting like a traditional Schmalzler in the nose. So I'm going to have to say it actually is one. Also, the weight of the product and the fact that they didn't fill the can all the way up, but the can felt like the other 2 cans that I have here of the same line. I'm thinking it is. The essence is some sort of dark plum. Okay? It's all right. It's, you know, out of all the Schmalzlers that I've done, this probably has elicited the least sneezing. So that's good. It's just real heavy in the nose, and you got to keep upshifting. All right? I did it 3 or 4 times during the 40 seconds I was gone during the break. The scent's pleasant enough, but I'm not really intrigued by it. The last one, the Chancellor, that was interesting because it was an SP and a natural, but it was also slightly mentholated, which I really don't have much experience with that. That combination. This one, it's sort of what I was expecting. I mean, it's not bad at all. The plum, if that is what that is pleasant enough. It's not, you know, there's nothing bad about the product. It's just nothing that I'm like, oh, I got to promote this video everywhere so everyone knows about this product. You know what I mean? It's not worthy of writing home about. So the product, the cost of this at Mr. Snuff it's about $3.50 a can. As I said, since the 10 months since the last European Snuff reviews, prices have seemingly gone up across the board, everywhere. So, is something like this worth it? Yeah, and if you're new and you're not quite accustomed to everything, but you want to try a Schmalzler, this is probably the one a beginner would want to use. As I said, I only sneezed like 5 times total. All right, that is a lot less than what I find with, let's say, Bernard product. All right, mind you, the Bernard products, the original ones are the real deal, but they are, I find for myself, hard to use. So, medium lower price, 10-gram tin. It's going to last somebody new for a while. You cannot dip this stuff. So it's not like an American product. Don't try putting it in your lip. All right. Nasally, which is basically the only way this can be used, that's going to last a beginner for a while. All right. The nicotine, I didn't really... this whole Otto line has higher nicotine. I didn't quite notice it with this one. I did notice it with the Chancellor, though. It was very evident with the Chancellor right off the bat. This one, it's there. I don't feel like doing anything else right now, but it wasn't as forcefully present as the Chancellor was. So I'm sort of mixed on this, as you can probably tell. I think it's a good beginner product. I think it's someone to get their feet wet with. For me, nah. I mean, I like the idea of a plum essence. Like, if it was put forth as plum, that would sell me, not knowing. But now that I have it, if that's the case, yeah, I think it's plum. But, you know, again, it's sort of like, So, something to remember with Mr. Snuff. Yeah, it's $3.50. But you want to order multiple products, all right? And I'll tell you why, because the shipping's like, I think it starts at around 11 or 12 bucks. All right, you don't want to just buy this, all right? Because now you're paying close to 15 bucks for that, and it's not worth $15, all right? I did a fairly small order this last time. I got 6 Snuffs and 4 other products besides, all right? And no, I'm not going to say what they are right now because you'll be seeing soon enough. So, I mean, you want to make it worth your while, worth the shipping. About $3.50. Heavy oiled nasal snuff, semi-coarse grind, okay nicotine. Plum essence is, again, all right. Nothing wrong with it. A little heavy in the nose. Seemingly a little heavy in the can, which is why the can isn't packed all the way. These cans do not have any, and that's why I brought up the whole deal, like I've never had a problem with Mr. Snuff, because they do not have any saran wrap seals or anything like that. They don't do that in Europe for this stuff, all right? That's why you don't see me removing it on the deal. It's not, oh, well, I must have opened it before the review. No, that was the first time I opened it. They're usually screwed down a little tighter than you normally would. But besides that, there is no seal on any of these. The Wilson Sharo in recent years, the company products, have put saran wrap on theirs, but they're one of very few companies that do it. Okay? So this has been the review, somewhat long and winding, of Otto Snuff Schmalzler. It is the number 2 review of group number 5. There are 4 more reviews in this grouping that will be coming up in the coming weeks. Sorry that it's a little bit rambling and whatnot. I haven't really done too many dry snuff reviews. The last European one before this group was in December of 2019. So it had been a little while. There had been a couple American products since then in between, but I think maybe there had only been 2 or 3 of them altogether. So again, Otto Snuff's Schmalzler. Otto is a product line from Toke. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.